Something major is happening inside Ferrari, and it's no longer a rumor or quiet speculation. What began as just another difficult season has now turned into a real crisis. And at the center of it all stands Fred Vasseur, the man once trusted. To lead Ferrari back to glory is now facing the possibility of being replaced. Behind the scenes, a huge shift is being planned, one that could completely change the future of the team. While Vasseur has been publicly calm, saying he is focused and fully committed to the team's rebuild, several recent reports show a much different reality. Ferrari's top management no longer sees Vasseur as someone who cannot be touched. They are now seriously looking at other options, and those options reveal just how shaken their confidence in his leadership has become. The first clear sign came when Ferrari quietly approached Christian Horner, the longtime team principal at Red Bull. Trying to lure him away from Red Bull was a bold and risky move. It shows that Ferrari's leadership knows something is very wrong. They were ready to replace Vasseur with Horner, a man who has built Red Bull into one of the strongest teams in the sport's history. But the attempt failed. Horner turned them down, making it clear that he's staying at Red Bull. That rejection was a serious blow to Ferrari's secret plan. And now, with their first choice unavailable, Ferrari is turning their attention to someone much closer to home, Antonello Coletta. Coletta isn't a household name in Formula One, but within Ferrari, he has built a strong reputation. He has been leading Ferrari's World Endurance Championship program, which has been dominating in 2025. Under his leadership, Ferrari has won back-to-back races at Le Mans and stayed unbeaten this season. That level of success has caught the attention of Ferrari's F1 board members. While the F1 team is struggling with 0 wins in the first 10 races, Coletta's team looks like the model of stability, organization, and success. That contrast is too sharp to ignore, and now Coletta is being considered the favorite to take over if Vasseur is let go. This is not just about replacing one team boss with another. Ferrari is reportedly exploring a completely new leadership structure, something like what McLaren uses with Zak Brown and Andrea Stella. In this plan, Coletta would take charge of the sporting and technical areas, while another figure, Lorenzo Giorgetti, would manage the commercial and strategic side. It's a bold move, but at this point, Ferrari seems to believe boldness is the only way forward. The team's poor performance, the growing frustration among the drivers, and the pressure from sponsors and shareholders are all becoming too heavy to ignore. Fred Vasseur came to Ferrari with a strong reputation. He was supposed to bring calm after the tense years under Masha Binotto. In 2024, things seemed to be moving in the right direction. Ferrari won 5 races, nearly won the Constructors' Championship, and looked like a team on the rise. But then came 2025. A complete change in the car's design philosophy turned everything upside down. The SF25, the new car, was meant to be a big step forward. Instead, it turned into a nightmare. Drivers complained about aerodynamic instability, brake overheating, and poor tire performance. Even someone as experienced as Lewis Hamilton can't get the best out of the car. This shift in car design was reportedly pushed through by Vasseur himself. It was meant to signal a new direction and a clean break from the past, but it came at a huge cost. The base from 2024 was abandoned, and the new direction hasn't delivered results. Instead of being a contender, Ferrari now looks like a team falling apart. That loss of direction is showing up everywhere, in the garage, in strategy meetings, and even in driver behavior. Charles Leclerc, once seen as Ferrari's next world champion, is visibly frustrated. His team radios are filled with emotion. His confidence in the strategy team is fading, and his voice no longer sounds like that of a driver who believes in the project. At the Canadian Grand Prix, Leclerc's frustration boiled over. He was pitted even though he said his tires were still good. That decision ruined his race, and his angry message over the radio said it all. But it wasn't just about a bad pit stop. It was about the bigger issue of loss of trust. He no longer believes the team knows what it's doing. That is very dangerous for a team like Ferrari. When your top driver starts to question everything, the damage is not just on the track, it hits the team's heart, its belief system, and its future. On the other side of the garage, Lewis Hamilton is also showing signs of deep frustration. He didn't come to Ferrari for money or fame. He already had those things. He came for a mission. He wanted to help Ferrari return to the top. But 10 races into his first season, Hamilton is starting to sound less like a believer and more like a critic. His public comments have been carefully worded but very clear. He talks about problems in the background, outdated processes, and the need for a mindset change. That's not casual talk. That's a direct message to Ferrari's leadership that the problems go far beyond the racetrack. Hamilton has seen what a winning team looks like. He lived it at Mercedes. So when he points out problems, it carries weight. When he says the structure is broken, people listen. And right now, it seems he believes Ferrari's problems are not just about car performance. They are about leadership, planning, and culture. The fact that he is speaking out so early into his Ferrari journey shows how serious the situation is. He expected a challenge, but not chaos. And if he starts to think the project isn't going anywhere, it's not hard to imagine him walking away sooner than expected. Fred Vasseur's emotional press conference after the Canadian Grand Prix made it clear that he is feeling the pressure. He called the rumors about his future unfair, said the media was being disrespectful, and asked for patience. But in Formula One, results are everything. If the car isn't winning, if the drivers aren't happy, and if the fans are losing faith, speeches don't mean much. Ferrari's leadership has already shown that they are willing to make changes. Their approach to Horner, their new interest in Coletta, and their search for a new leadership model all point in one direction. They are preparing for life after Vasseur. To make matters worse, Ferrari also failed in their attempt to bring in Adrian Newey, the legendary car designer who has helped Red Bull achieve massive success. Newey chose to go to Aston Martin instead, a team with fewer titles, but perhaps a clearer vision and more freedom. That rejection adds to the growing list of missed opportunities. Ferrari is starting to look like a team that can't convince top talent to join them, and that is a very bad sign. Inside the team, things are getting worse. Engineers are working under extreme pressure. Trackside decisions are being questioned. The drivers are expressing their doubts in public. And behind closed doors, the fear is that this isn't just a rough patch, it's a real breakdown. If the results don't improve quickly, more people might leave. Leclerc might activate performance clauses in his contract. Hamilton might lose patience. And the fans, who are already growing frustrated, might start turning away completely. This moment feels like more than just another bad season. It feels like a test of Ferrari's identity. Can they admit they made mistakes? Can they change? Or are they stuck in an endless cycle of crisis and change, where the names keep changing, but the results stay the same? That's what's really at stake here. It's not just Vasseur's job, it's Ferrari's future. Antonello Coletta may be the man to lead Ferrari out of this mess. His track record in endurance racing is strong. He knows the Ferrari system. He understands how to build a winning team. But even if he is brought in, success is not guaranteed. The problems at Ferrari are deep, and fixing them will take more than a leadership swap. It will take a complete cultural change. The politics, the communication breakdowns, the fear of failure, all of it needs to be addressed. That's the only way the team can move forward. Ferrari's legacy is one of greatness, but in recent years, that legacy has become a burden. Every decision is judged more harshly. Every failure is a national issue in Italy, and now, with two of the biggest names in Formula One in their driver lineup, the spotlight is even brighter. If the team can't deliver results, it's not just a missed opportunity, it's a major embarrassment. In the next few races, everything could change. If the results don't improve, Vasseur may be gone. Coletta may take over. A new structure may be introduced. But if nothing changes, if the same problems keep repeating, then Ferrari risks becoming irrelevant. While teams like McLaren, Mercedes, and Aston Martin move forward, Ferrari could fall even further behind. So the pressure is on, not just for Fred Vasseur, but for everyone in the team. The decisions made now will shape the future. If they get it right, this could be the turning point. But if they don't, it could be the beginning of an even bigger fall. And in Formula One, falls like that are very hard to recover from. Ferrari is standing at a crossroads. One path leads to change, hard work, and maybe a return to the top. The other path leads to more failure, more confusion, and more headlines about what went wrong. It's up to them to decide which path they take, but time is running out, and if they wait too long, they might lose the drivers, the engineers, the fans, and the dream. The silence behind the scenes is over. Now the truth is out. What Ferrari does next will not just affect this season, it will